The beep of the monitor was the only sound that acknowledged I was alive. Sterile light burned my eyes, the taste of metal thick in my throat. Pain wrapped around my lungs like wire, thin, cold, unrelenting. I remember thinking I might actually die there, alone, while surrounded by people who should have cared. My wife stood near the window, scrolling her phone, pretending not to notice how shallow my breaths were becoming. Her brother, picture of arrogance with a cheap watch he thought made him important, hovered beside my bed. He leaned in close, his voice a whisper designed to wound. "Stop faking it, you just want pity." Then he yanked the oxygen tube from my nose. Air vanished. My lungs collapsed into panic. My fingers clawed at nothing. My wife watched, still, silent. I stared at her, silently begging, "Say something, do something, choose me." But her eyes were glass, waiting for me to break. I would have died if not for the shift in atmosphere behind them, the sound of a shoe sole, measured and calm. My surgeon entered quietly, his presence slicing the scene open like a scalpel. They didn't even notice him until he spoke, voice low enough to chill bone. "What are you doing?" Her brother flinched. My wife froze. The surgeon reattached the tube with practiced indifference, as though saving me was simply routine. But his eyes met mine, steady, knowing. He saw everything. I inhaled, slow, heavy, deliberate, and in that breath, something inside me hardened. I would remember. I would repay. Recovery was slow, not physical, trust. Every beep of a machine became a metronome of betrayal. My wife visited less. Calls from her side of the family came only when money was mentioned. They spoke as if I was already half buried, a wallet waiting to be inherited. I listened, I noted, calm. One evening I overheard her voice outside my door, laughing softly, too softly. The tone reserved for intimacy, not mine. A man's voice answered, familiar, too familiar, her brother. I laid still, pretending to sleep, as footsteps faded. My heartbeat was quiet rage dripped into a bottle, sealed tight. Fragments came together slowly, her strange distance the past year, late nights at work. Whispers stopped when I entered the room. Her request for power of attorney just weeks before the surgery. A picture formed, ugly and undeniable. She wanted me gone. He wanted what I built. The silence between us stretched thin, but I did not confront. No, suffering makes men impulsive. Power comes from patience. I watched. I listened. I collected. I recovered quietly, moving through the house like a ghost with new eyes. She thought illness made me weak. It made me observant. I checked bank statements, transfers to her brother, small enough to avoid suspicion, frequent enough to matter. Messages on her phone, screens angled away from me. Receipts for dinners never shared with me. A second phone hidden beneath her scarves, containing photos. Him, her, together. My hands didn't shake. My breath didn't quicken. The rage was a stone in my chest, cold, perfect. I hired a private investigator. DNA swabs for our daughter, hair from her brush, a toothbrush from mine. The PI delivered phone logs, tracking data, hotel receipts. Every detail a nail in a coffin they didn't know they were building for themselves. I smiled more at breakfast. She thought it was recovery. It was preparation. The company I founded held its annual shareholder meeting soon. She expected to attend as my wife, poised to inherit influence if I collapsed again. Her brother was already rehearsing authority in the mirror, smiling like a man who believed the world finally belonged to him. I let them believe it. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is served as hope, right before it is taken away. The day results came. Envelope on my desk, heavy, sealed, innocent looking, unlike the devastation inside. I opened it alone. DNA, 0% paternal match. My daughter wasn't mine. My wife knew, her brother knew, perhaps better than I ever did. I sat back. No tears, just a clarity so pure it tasted like ice. At dinner, I placed the folder gently beside her wine glass. She opened it mid-sip. Her face shattered. "No, listen, I can explain, please." I watched her crumble, words drowning in panic. My voice remained steady. "I already know." The silence after was not empty, it was judgment. She reached for me. I didn't move. She begged for forgiveness. Her brother arrived minutes later, face pale when I handed him a copy. He stuttered, blustered, tried to deny. I listened, calm as a surgeon before the incision. Then I said only, "Be at the meeting tomorrow." Not a threat, an invitation to ruin. The shareholders' hall gleamed with polished glass, our kingdom. She and her brother arrived dressed like vultures at a feast. I sat at the head table, pen in hand, document waiting. When the floor opened for announcements, I rose slowly. The room hushed. Cameras turned. I gestured to them. This family has acted against the company's interest, against mine. Gasps, whispers. I slid forward evidence, one sheet at a time. Transfers, infidelity, DNA. Her brother reached for me, desperate. A hand touched his shoulder. The surgeon. He was a board member, silent until now. And he said the 6 words that detonated everything. "He's not faking. I was there." The room erupted. Security escorted them out as shareholders tore through documents like wolves. My wife collapsed in tears. Her brother screamed slurs about pity, inheritance, lies. None of it mattered. They were finished. I walked out while chaos bloomed behind me. Weeks later, I sat in my villa overlooking the Swiss Alps. Snow fell like quiet absolution. Peace tasted foreign, almost unfamiliar. My phone vibrated endlessly. "Daughter-in-law, if you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." I replied with one word: enjoy. Then I sent a picture of my new life: fireplace, wine, mountain view. Her shock turned into obsession. The phone rang 71 times. I watched each call disappear into missed history. No anger, no triumph, just stillness. I was done. They taught me how cold humans could be. I learned to match it.